Before the video starts, I want to apologize to my fans for the long wait. I'm just an ordinary full-time worker, so after work every day, I still need to cook and take care of household chores. By the end of the day, I usually only have about 2 to 4 hours left to use my computer. Writing the tutorial content alone takes several days, and after that, I still need to repeatedly watch my own footage to make sure everything is accurate before I can start editing and adding subtitles. That's how one day passes after another, until a whole week goes by. I'm sorry for keeping you waiting, and I truly hope today's video will be helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you as well to all the fans who leave feedback or messages of thanks. I've read them all, and whenever I have time, I'll reply as soon as possible. Now, let's begin today's video. How to become the auction house top sales champion? Part 6. If you haven't completed the previous content yet, you can first refer to my other tutorial videos. Non-English viewers can click the gear icon in YouTube settings to enable CC and turn on automatic translation for multiple languages. This time, we're covering stages 11 to 14, and I'll also teach you some simple bargaining techniques. As long as you master these, you'll be able to clear future stages easily. The content in this video uses international server prices and does not apply to the Taiwan server. However, I will pin a comment specifically for Taiwan fans with written instructions. Please follow the text, and you'll still be able to clear the stages smoothly. Operation Guide. Tap the price area at the bottom right to manually enter the price. Before the video starts, let's review the bargaining range notes from earlier. Today, we'll add a new note for million-level pricing. 1. Very low prices. For items priced in the hundreds, use a bargaining range of plus 50 to plus 100. For example, if the price is 200, you can sell at 150 or 250. 2. Low prices. For prices in the thousands, from 2,000 up to under 10,000, use a range of 500 to 1,000. For example, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,500. 3. Mid-range prices. For items above 10,000, use a bargaining range of 1,000 to 3,000. 4. Mid-high prices. If an item can sell for 50,000 to 90,000, use a range of plus or minus 5,000 to 10,000. For example, 55,000, 60,000, 70,000, or changing 90,000 to 80,000, and so on. 5. High prices. For prices around 100,000, use a bargaining range of 20,000 to 50,000. For example, changing it to 120,000, 150,000, or 170,000. 6. Very high prices. For prices like 200,000, 300,000, or 500,000, use a range of 50,000 to 100,000. For example, if 200,000 is accepted, you can try selling at 300,000. If 300,000 is not accepted, change it to 250,000. That's the idea. 7. Extreme prices, million level. If you encounter prices like 1 million, 2 million, or 3 million, use a bargaining range of 500,000 to 1 million. For example, if 3 million is not accepted, try 2.5 million or 2 million. Remember these notes above. They also apply to my other videos. My other videos directly help you win using the highest prices, so you can follow the maximum prices I provide and use these notes to increase or decrease the price. If you do this, you'll definitely clear the stage. Stage 11. I think stage 11 is a bit challenging because the total turnover is relatively low, which also means the bargaining space is smaller. First seller. You want to buy from her at a low price. No spells are needed. Directly purchase for 5,000, manually enter it. Remember to add 3 zeros after the 5. 5,000. If the first seller does not accept this price, don't hesitate and refresh the stage immediately. If this price is not accepted, the customers later in this round won't be any better, so don't waste time. Second seller. You want to buy at a low price. Purchase directly without using any spells. Manually enter 12,000. 12,000. If she does not accept, don't hesitate and restart everything. Third seller, you want to buy at a low price. First, use the transfiguration spell to downgrade the item, then purchase it for 3,000. If she does not accept this price, try 4,000. If 4,000 is still not accepted, you'll have to refresh and restart because the later stages will not meet the target. Fourth buyer, we want to sell to him at a high price, so first, use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the item, then sell it to him for 17,000. If he does not accept, change the price to 16,000. In most cases, this will pass. If it still doesn't work, you'll have to refresh and restart because the later prices will be very hard to meet. Fifth buyer, you want to sell to him at a high price. No spells are needed. Follow what I said and try 1.5 to 2 times the price because we are greedy merchants. Try 50,000. If not accepted, try 45,000. If that still doesn't work, you may need to restart because it will be hard to meet the target afterward. Sixth buyer, you want to sell to him at a high price. He says he can buy it for 10,775. Greedy merchant logic kicks in again, which means you can sell it for about 1.5 to 2 times the price. I first tried 25,000. From his reaction, he wants it a bit lower. Applying note 3, adjusting by 1,000 to 3,000 at a time. I reduce the price by 2,000 and try 23,000, and he accepts. If he doesn't accept, reduce it by another 1,000 to 22,000, and that should pass. Congratulations on clearing the stage. Stage 12. First buyer. You want to sell to him at a high price. No spells are needed. Sell directly. Manually enter 48,000. Remember to add 3 zeros after 48. 48,000. This price is based on the 24,000 shown on the right, multiplied by 2 using greedy merchant logic. If he does not accept, refer to note 3 and try changing the price to 45,000 or 43,000. At the end of the video, I passed with 43,000. If 43,000 is still not accepted, it's recommended to refresh and restart because the following customers won't be much better. Second buyer. You want to sell at a high price. First, use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the item, then sell it for 90,000 or 88,000. Directly manually enter 90,000 with 4 zeros after the 9. The key point here is that it must successfully transform into legendary quality. If you're unlucky and it doesn't become legendary, it's recommended to refresh and restart immediately because it will affect the total turnover. Don't waste time, just restart. Third buyer. You want to sell at a high price. No spells are needed. Directly sell for 40,000 with 4 zeros after the 4. If he doesn't accept this price, try 38,000 with 3 zeros after 38, and he should accept. Fourth buyer. We want to sell to her at a high price. No spells are needed. Sell to her for 30,000 with 4 zeros after the 3. If she doesn't accept, change the price to 28,000 and this should pass. Fifth seller. You want to buy at a low price. No spells are needed. Referring to note 5, here I went straight down to 100,000 to purchase. He didn't accept, so I tried 150,000, and he accepted. Sixth buyer. You want to sell to her at a high price. However, because the earlier turnover was very low, there's no need and no way to use the transfiguration spell. This is also a generous buyer. Here she says she can buy it for 503,500. Greedy merchant logic kicks in again, meaning you can sell for 1.5 to 2 times the price. I first tried 100,000. She clearly didn't accept. I then tried 1 million. Still no. 900,000. Still not accepted. 850,000. Accepted. Applying note 6, adjusting in increments of 50,000 to 100,000. Congratulations on clearing the stage. Stage 13. First buyer. You want to sell to him at a high price. First, use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the quality, then sell based on the result. I use the greedy merchant concept here, referencing the estimated value on the side and selling at about double the price. This example shows gold quality. Manually enter 180,000. Remember to add 4 zeros after 18. If he does not accept, refer to Note 5 and try reducing the price by 20,000. In my case, I passed by selling at 160,000. If the result after transfiguration is purple quality, you can sell for 110,000. If it is blue quality, you can sell for 75,000. To repeat, gold at 180,000 or 160,000, purple at 110,000, blue at 75,000. If the buyer you encounter does not accept the prices mentioned above, it's recommended to refresh and restart because the prices later on will not be very favorable either. Second seller. You want to buy at a low price. First, use the transfiguration spell to downgrade the quality, then purchase based on the result. If it becomes purple, purchase for 25,000. If it becomes blue, purchase for 19,000. If it becomes normal quality, that's the best outcome because you only need to purchase for 10,000. Following these prices, you should be able to clear the stage. If she does not accept, refer to the prices above and apply Note 3 by increasing the price by 1,000 to 3,000, and it should pass. Third buyer. You want to sell at a high price. No spells are needed. Here, I directly referenced the estimated value of 166,400 and tried selling at that price, but it failed several times. In the end, I passed by selling at 150,000 or 140,000. Manually enter 150,000 with 4 zeros after 15. In most cases, 150,000 or 140,000 will work. Fourth seller. We want to buy at a low price. Here, I want to share a concept that will apply later as well. You must always consider whether using the transfiguration spell is too expensive. If it's too costly, then don't use it. After several attempts, my conclusion here was that no spell is needed because using the spell is not cost-effective. I purchased directly. The estimated value on the side was about 140,000. Applying Note 5, I cut off the last digits and purchased for 100,000, with 5 zeros after 1. If she does not accept, still refer to Note 5 and increase by 20,000. Purchasing for 120,000 will also pass. Fifth buyer. You want to sell at a high price, without using any spells. I referenced her acceptable price of 45,914 and used the greedy merchant concept to sell at about double. Directly enter 90,000 with 4 zeros after the 9. Note here that even though she shows an angry icon, she will accept the deal. So in many cases, you must tap confirm twice. If you don't understand English, be careful not to misjudge the result because of the angry icon. Sixth buyer. Here, he does not tell us his acceptable price, so my pricing is based on the estimated value on the side. 56,000 plus 38,000 equals 94,000, then applying the greedy merchant concept of selling at 1.5 to 2 times the price. That comes out to 188,000. However, I felt he would definitely not accept that price, so I tested with 180,000. As expected, he did not accept. Applying Note 5, adjusting in increments of 20,000 to 50,000. I then tried 160,000 and it passed. Seventh buyer. I tested 2 different approaches here and both worked. First approach. No transfiguration spell used. She tells us she is willing to buy for 194,369. We round it up to 200,000, then apply the greedy merchant concept and sell at 400,000. Looking at the total turnover on the left, 400,000 already meets the requirement, but since I'm a greedy merchant, I wanted to test her limit. Referring to the estimated value and cost on the side, it's about 240,000 times 2, which is 480,000. So I tried 500,000 first. Unfortunately, she did not accept. At this point, trying too many times becomes risky, so I sold at 400,000 and cleared the stage successfully. Second approach. Observing the turnover on the side, selling too low would be risky. So first, use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the item. Here, she says she is willing to buy for around 600,000. Because this stage is relatively difficult, it's hard to apply the greedy merchant double price logic. However, applying Note 6, I increased the price by 50,000 and sold at 650,000. Unexpectedly, she accepted. Congratulations on clearing the stage. From this, you can see that sometimes you need to price based on the situation. You can't always use double the price, but you can estimate based on the buyer's offer and adjust using the notes. Stage 14. First seller. You want to buy at a low price. No spells are needed. Purchase directly. The estimated value on the side is 96,000. I tried purchasing at 95,000 or 90,000. If neither of these prices is accepted, it's recommended to refresh and restart because the following customers won't be much better. Second seller. You want to buy at a low price. Here, I reference the estimated value on the side. The seller wants to sell for 110,000, which means the reasonable range is between 84,000 and 110,000. Don't forget, we are greedy merchants. I offered 85,000. Manually enter it. Remember to add 3 zeros after 85. And surprisingly, he accepted. If he doesn't accept, refer to Note 4 and increase by 5,000. Most likely, 90,000 will also work. Third seller. You want to buy at a low price. The estimated value here is 88,000, but it's normal quality, so there is still room to bargain lower. I tested 2 prices here and both worked, 85,000 or 70,000. Fourth buyer. We want to sell to him at a high price. So first, use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the quality, then sell based on the resulting quality. From my tests, gold quality can sell for 1.4 million. Purple quality can sell between 1.0 million and 700,000. Blue quality can sell between 700,000 and 600,000. Prices within these ranges are generally accepted. Sell according to the quality you get. Fifth buyer. You want to sell at a high price. Here, we first use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the quality, then adjust the price based on the buyer's offer. Example situation 1. With gold quality, the buyer is willing to purchase for around 900,000. I tried 1.8 million, but he didn't accept. Referring to Note 6, I directly reduced the price by 100,000 to 1.7 million, and he accepted. Remember to add 5 zeros after 17. Example situation 2. With blue quality, the buyer is willing to purchase for around 330,000. I tried 700,000, which he didn't accept. Referring to Note 6, I reduced it by 50,000 and tried 650,000, which he accepted. Purple quality can sell for 1.0 million. Sixth buyer. You want to sell to him at a high price. The trading method is the same as the previous buyer. Reference the buyer's offered price, then apply the greedy merchant concept of 1.5 to 2 times. First, use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the quality, then decide the price based on the buyer's offer. I've encountered several situations here. Gold quality can sell for 1.2 million. Purple quality can sell for around 600,000. Blue quality can sell for around 450,000. If the buyer doesn't accept the prices I mentioned, refer to Note 6 and adjust up or down. Here, I'll demonstrate with purple quality. Purple quality, situation 1. The buyer offers around 320,000. I tried about double, 650,000, which he didn't accept. I lowered it to 600,000, and he accepted. This matches Note 6. His acceptable range is around double of 320,000, about 640,000 or lower. Reducing by 50,000 puts you at the highest acceptable price. Purple quality, situation 2. The buyer offers around 240,000. I tried 600,000, not accepted. 550,000, still not accepted. 500,000, accepted. This follows the greedy merchant concept combined with Note 6. around double of 240,000, roughly 480,000, is the acceptable range, then adjust slightly up or down. The conclusion from these two tests is, even with the same purple quality, you should always use the buyer's offered price as your main reference. Seventh seller. You want to buy at a low price. First, use the transfiguration spell to downgrade the quality, then purchase. Here, I referenced the price on the side and reduced it by 50,000 to 60,000. I tried purchasing at 100,000 and it passed. Eighth buyer. This is the final customer of the day. Whether you clear the stage depends on him. First, use the transfiguration spell to upgrade the quality, then sell using the greedy merchant concept of 1.5 to 2 times. I'll demonstrate two situations here. Both are gold quality, but the prices are different, which proves that you must evaluate based on the buyer's or seller's budget. Situation 1. The buyer is willing to purchase for 1.11 million. Using the greedy merchant concept, the maximum could be around 2.22 million. However, since we're close to clearing the stage, I didn't want to take risks. I tried 2 million, manually enter it, add 6 zeros after the 2, and it passed. Situation 2. The buyer is willing to purchase for 1.63 million, which is much more generous than the previous one. Using the greedy merchant concept, this means you could sell for around 3.2 million. So I tried 3.2 million, manually enter it, add 5 zeros after 32. Just as expected, he accepted. Congratulations on clearing the stage. Finally, here's an extra concept for players who are afraid to challenge high prices. In the final stage, you can always reference the total turnover shown on the left. If you're a player who just wants to meet the target, it's safer to play conservatively. For example, in Situation 1, if the turnover is already 2.2 million and the target is 3.8 million, then your final item only needs to sell for more than 1.6 million to pass. In Situation 2, if the turnover is only 1.1 million and the target is 3.8 million, then you need to sell the final item for at least 2.7 million to pass. This way, you don't need to rely on the greedy merchant concept. Instead, in the final stage, you can price the item based on the remaining turnover needed to meet the target. On the other hand, if the final required price still cannot be sold, then it simply means this stage wasn't passable in that run. Don't be discouraged. Try again. That's the end of today's tutorial. I hope these concepts help you prepare for the upcoming professional mode. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your time in the game.